Hey Karen, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Hey, before we get started, I'm just going to let you know that anything you say or the conversation we have here is going to be strictly between me and you. However, if you wish to impose harm upon yourself or that of others, I'm gonna have to report it up. Are we in agreement here?
Yeah, thanks for letting me know my options. Thank you.
Anytime, anytime. So, what do you want to talk about, Karen?
So I don't know. So I think it's pretty. I think you went out. Hold on. Oh, okay. So for the past few days, I know morale's pretty low here at West Point right now. Everyone's going through it, but I feel personally more affected by it because my roommate has been very depressed lately, and even though I ask her, how are you? It's usually like one word answers, and she's very closed off. And it's kind of hard for me because my room is like the only place I could come home to or like after classes. And it's just very uncomfortable. So I was wondering if you could, help me out a little bit.
So, are you saying you're feeling kind of frustrated and a little bit sad about the situation?
Yeah, I think you could call, yeah, I'm very frustrated, kind of, how do I say this? Kind of, suffocated a little bit
Hmm.
because I feel like I can't, like, I don't feel like myself in the room. And I just don't know what I should say to her, or how I should go about talking to her, you know, try to make things, ease it up a little bit. I know she's going through a lot of things herself, probably like the stress with school, T's coming up, with all like not being able to leave anywhere, so I don't think she has like an outlet. She is on like a core squad team, so she has like her own friend group, but I want her to be able to open up to me after all because we're living together. So
That makes sense, Karen. Like you definitely caring for your roommate. I'm just curious, like what have you guys done in the past that you are not doing anymore because of the situation?
uh having day-to-day conversations actually. So like usually when we come back, like back in August or whatever, we would always like talk about our day. We talk about like the highs and lows of the day, what were the positives, what and or like we'd rant to each other if things were wrong. But lately it's like we don't say a word to each other. It's like quiet in the room, very awkward. And even if we do, it's just like, oh, how was your day? Good. And that's it. That's the end of the conversation. So yeah, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I would only imagine because like you said, your room is like a place where you come home to, and it's supposed to be where you share a little bit of things, your experiences of the day with your roommate. Would you say you're the ones that's starting to initiate a conversation with your roommate, or is it the other way around?
Oh no, it's usually a May, because I don't want to talk highly of myself, but I'm a very approachable person. I feel like, and like I'm usually the one that starts the conversation. She's usually more of like the closed off, reserved person. So usually I'm the one that starts the conversation, and I don't think she's ever started the conversation lately at all. It's usually me going out of my way to ask how she's doing, or if I could get anything for her, like let's say like, oh, I'm going to the mess hall for breakfast. Do you want like a yogurt or something? And then she'll be like, no, and I'll just be like, okay, bye. So that's basically it. Yeah.
She hasn't asked you for help in any sort of way.
No, yeah, no, she hasn't. So yeah, I don't know. So do you think like, do you recommend that I I have tried talking to her, but I feel like I only do so much. So I don't know. Do you think there's any resources or whatsoever that maybe she can, or I can go? I don't know. Actually.
Mhm. Well, we do have a tremendous CPD program that if your roommate feels comfortable with going to a counselor and maybe exposing her feelings, because maybe she's feeling a little bit nervous of revealing her experiences and some type of emotions to you because she doesn't want you to look down upon her. Um, do you think that might be a reason why?
Maybe. I think she might be. Well, she expressed to me before how she hates being seen weak.
Mm,
So I think that could be the reason why. or maybe she's going through a lot of things. Her like a lot of things are going on in her mind, so maybe she's just trying to close off to herself and kind of focus on what she needs to focus on right now. But I really wish that she would, at least express. I feel like everyone should be able to get things off their chest. You can't always hold off everything, or else you're gonna explode. So I just want to be that person that she could like lean and depend on and talk to, you know?
Yeah, Karen, absolutely. It's like different people have different methods of controlling some, I guess, like anxiety and like their stressors of the day. Some people just hold it in, like you said, they're balling it up. But you said your roommate, she participates. Is she on a core squad team?
Yeah, she is. So she's on the rugby team.
Okay, so like with her, she might be using those emotions that she develops throughout the day and the stresses that she has developed into rugby in her practices, and like this is like contact sport. So I can only assume that she's sublimating those emotions out on the field.
You might be right, and then she does it out on the field, and then she comes back, so she's probably exhausted.
She may be
From
exhausted.
throwing all her feelings out there.
Exactly. I mean, I don't think it's anything wrong with you, Karen. I think maybe she, by the time that she's done with practice, she has already. That's her way of her therapy is taking it out on the field.
Okay, yeah.
Like, what do you think? What do you think of that? And if you think of it like that in that perspective,
No, I feel like you bring up a pretty good point because I assume that she has an outlet because she hangs out with her like rugby friends, teammates. They go out to Grant, pick up a few things or whatever. But no, yeah, I think you bring up a pretty good point. I just feel like, however, since we're roommates, I feel like I should at least have a part in like, helping her out a little bit, or at least like severing the relationship that we had before. Because what happened in August is a complete 360 than how it was right now. We were able to talk, we were able to have good conversations, but I just don't know what I can do right now to go back to how it was before. So
exactly. Given the circumstances of COVID-19 in our situation, and like, the firsties can't go on pass. There's a lot of stressors that are building upon it. So can you tell me a little bit of the things that you've done so far when working with Charlotte, your roommate?
So first, I tried giving her a little bit of space because it just kind of happened all of a sudden, like this talking, or I guess it was kind of like a snowball effect. Initially, it was just like not talking to each other for like a day, and then continuously it might have become something that we gotten used to. But like in between that, I would try to, at least have a little conversation with her here and there, ask her about her day. I have yet to actually sit down and talk to her about how I feel because I've been trying to give her the space that she needs, but I feel like maybe I've waited a little too long to do that. So maybe I actually do have to sit down and talk, like be like, oh, hey, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I feel in this room. I was wondering if you felt the same way, maybe something along those lines. But I just don't see how else this would get fixed without having a personable conversation with her. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you bring up a great point. Maybe Charlotte just needs to hear your side of the story and see that you're actually also hurting on the inside from the lack of communication y'all have been having. So what I'm taking from this right now is that you guys used to talk a lot all the time, best buddies, and then eventually you just started dying out, and it became a snowball effect where it just became you initiating the conversation, asking little things like how your day was, and that was that. Am I getting that right so far?
Yeah, you are.
Has there been any other activities besides just talking in a room that you've been pursuing, like maybe like going out on the walk outside, or doing a little like working out together? Because I know you're both physically fit. Maybe finding a common ground, like.
No, actually, I've never thought about that. But I feel like there's no, it doesn't hurt to find something else that we could do rather than just stay in the room and talk. Because, yeah, no, you're actually right. We could go for, I actually, yeah, I'll ask her if we could go for a little walk. She likes to work out. I like to work out too, so maybe we could get a little lift and like maybe sever our relation or mend our severed relationship then. Or I don't know, maybe just go for coffee or something. I just feel like there's so many limited things that we could do at West Point that we tend to like not think outside the box because we're just so restricted. I just feel like everyone's just like, oh, the room is the only place we can go now because everything is off limits. So I feel like my creativity of like what else I could do besides talking to her in the room kind of stopped me in there, like limited me. So no, yeah, you bring up a good point. I guess I'll just see if I could do something creative, like go sit at the Rock or like Trophy Point, and see if I could have like a opening, like heart to heart conversation with her.
Yeah, and I think you also bring up a great point. It's kind of difficult because West Point, everything seems like it's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do out here. But like you say, if you take a step back and just kind of think, there's kind of a little bit of things you can actually do. Like you said, going for a walk to go to Starbucks and get some coffee. It's a great start. And then like physical exercise. You guys both love to do that. It's working as part of your daily routine. So maybe find a common gateway to do that. But yeah, I would definitely suggest that's a great course of action. Plus, on top of that, you just having that sit down with her and letting know how you actually feel. I think those are great methods that you can utilize. But I just want to let you know, Karen, that from hearing what you're saying, I don't think you're the problem. I don't think
Thanks. Yeah, no, because I was kind of hard on myself. I was like, before, like in the beginning, I was like, is this something I did? Like, was I loud when she was sleeping? Did I wake her up so she got a little irritated? Is there something that I did, like left my clothes out or something? But yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely a conversation that we need to have, just very long overdue. So I feel like it falls on both of us, the problem. So I feel like, yeah, it's a talk we definitely need to have. So
Yeah, exactly. And just as long as you don't beat yourself up over it, I'm pretty sure that she doesn't think the same way of like it's being your fault because, like you said, she has a lot of factors and stressors going into this semester. So just having a level head and being a Karen that you are, just keep trucking throughout the day and just keep having those little conversations with her and maybe build up to a bigger one. But all in all, I like to say that from what I've heard so far, I'm just going to summarize a little bit. Basically, you have noticed that your roommate has been seemed like a little bit depressed, symptoms of depression. It started off you guys talking a lot throughout the semester, but then at some point, conversations kind of died down, got that snowball effect, like you were saying, and it just felt like a one-sided conversation where you would initiate a conversation and there would be no response back from her. You've done a lot of things just in the room, trying to start a conversation or get her food from the mess hall, but you never had that time to actually sit down and talk to her one-on-one and have that serious conversation. And you also talked about how you guys haven't really done anything else outside the room together. So like physical exercise, going for a walk to get Starbucks are good courses of action. So like I would say sitting down and talk and then going for a walk or doing something outside the room could be your homework. And next time I see you, you'll let me know how that goes. All in all, Karen, I think you're a tremendous person, and I don't think you should beat yourself up over this. You're a great roommate, and you have a lot going for you.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Seriously, I needed to hear that honestly because I've been beating myself down on it. So you made me feel better.
Anytime, Karen. That's what I'm here for. Is there anything else you want to discuss or need any clarification?
No, not as of now, but yeah, I'll follow back with you when like what happens for sure.
Oh, thank you, Karen. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Wish the best of luck for you, and I hope you have the great rest of your night.
Thanks.